All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So once again, joined by my buddy Tyson from Let's Talk Jets Radio. I'm sure you know him, but if you don't, definitely check him out. All of his links are down below in the description, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, YouTube. Tyson, what's up, man? How are you?
We're like best friends now, man. I feel like I've known you forever.
I know, yeah, I know, right? And we were talking a little bit about, the draft and everything, or we did a collab before the draft, talking about what we kind of expected, what we kind of hoped to happen. And one of the things that we agreed on was edge at 4, and it didn't happen. And, obviously the Jets went with Sauce Gardner, passed up on Kayvon Thibodeau and Jermaine Johnson. And it's kind of funny how, everything came full circle. But at the time, we're sitting there at pick number 4, and I caught your reaction, and it was like, I'm sure you're glad to have Sauce, but it was like that initial shock of not going edge rusher. We also passed on all of the offensive linemen too. Literally all of them were there. Ekem, Neal, Cross. What was your take on just initially going Sauce Gardner? I know there were some mocks that came out earlier that everybody was kind of expecting Sauce to go to the Jets, but me and you, I kind of felt like we were on the same page with just looking at the edge position. It was thin. We need it. It's really important for the style of defense. What was your initial take with the Gardner pick?
I was completely shocked, man. I wanted a pass rusher in the worst way, and then he fell there. I thought Thibodeau was the guy. And then if we bought into what everybody was telling us was the Jets don't put a premium at the corner position. They feel comfortable with like the lower, mid-round guys or lesser guys. They got Reed, they got Hall, they got Echols. I'm like, all right, it's not a need. So I kind of convinced myself of that. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe they'll go like offensive lineman. I just didn't think they were going to go corner, dude. I was shocked. And I like the pick, but like if we're going, pick by pick, I was getting nervous. I'm like, all right, they didn't get a pass rusher at 4. We got a corner. There's a lot of value. It makes sense. But now at 10, it's got to be a pass rusher. Now you're starting to get nervous. Like you're trying to, will they be there? Will there be a rush on pass rushers? Will we get nobody? So I was shocked, dude. Completely shocked.
So are you happy with the pick? Like being shocked is one thing, but like, are you, and of course, the added in fact that the Jets ended up with an edge at spot number 26, traded up, didn't really give up like an insane haul or anything like that. Like I definitely feel like it was worth it, but at the time from like 4 to 10, or I guess really from like 10 to 26, like what was going through your mind? Like, man, we did not address edge in free agency. We haven't traded for anybody. Now we spent our first two, our two first round picks on non-edge players. What was going through your mind?
See, at that point, I was like, all right, Sauce at 4. So I'm like, all right, well, then you take an edge at 10 and then trade your 2 second round picks for Debo or Metcalf or whoever. I'm like, you got to do this. They take Wilson at 10. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding. Like, not that I was mad, but just being as a fan in the moment, I'm like, we still have no edge rusher. So I'm like, we've got to trade up. I'm like, you got to trade up. And I'm like, then you think like, how far can Jermaine Johnson possibly fall? I'm like, there's no way he's falling to 35. So how far are we got to trade up for? And this pick goes by. You're sitting here, you're sweating. You're like, you want the guy, the Jets love him. They had him in the Senior Bowl. And this is like the true roller coaster for a Jet fan, right? Because you're sitting, you're like, your expectations aren't what they want them to be, but they're still in place. Like, please trade up and get them. And that's what they did. So if you look at the cumulative 3 picks, you love it. But as it played out, it was nerve-wracking as hell, man.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I was, same kind of reaction. Like my hands were sweating. My heart was going crazy. Like every year with the NFL draft. What was the favorite pick? What was your favorite pick that the Jets made, right? Every single guy. And, if it was even a undrafted one too, feel free to throw him in there. But yeah, I think it's really interesting to kind of, talk to a bunch of Jets fans and kind of see who their favorite guy was. Obviously the Jets walked away with a lot of talent, both on offense and defense, but who was your favorite guy, favorite acquisition?
I'm going to have to say Jermaine Johnson, to be honest with you, because I'm so excited about his potential. And you listen to the way that, we had a chance to talk to Lee J. Douzable, who just raved about him. And you watch some of the analysts, they said, he could be one of the best pass rushers in the draft, dude. And that's what I wanted the most, because Carl Lawson's coming back, but you don't know what he is. Can he stay healthy? Great. But you want a guy for the next 5 years. You want a guy you can build your defense around. And I think the defense desperately needs that kind of dominant playmaker to disrupt the opposing offense. You got to hit the quarterback. Like, I love Wilson. I think Wilson's going to be a star. Having him next to Elijah Moore, Breece Hall surprised me, and Rutgers. But like, you need impact, game-breaking talent, and I'm hoping Jermaine Johnson becomes that guy. If probably not this year, but he can learn from Carl Lawson. He can learn from Vinny Curry, and I think that one can have the most upside. I think if it all works out right for the Jets.
Yeah, dude, that's an awesome take. What is your overall, I guess, grade for the draft class, start to finish? What are you giving it?
You know what? There's a lot of picks that surprised me, dude. Like, I'm being honest. Like, I didn't never at one point said in the second round going running back. I didn't think that. I was gonna go linebacker or safety there. The pick of Rucker completely surprised me. I'm like, all right, do we need a tight end? We already have two. But you look at the player, you look at the talent, you look at the value, and you look at how it impact the offense. It's tremendous. The Jets literally built around Zach Wilson like they said they were gonna do. We have depth, we have flexibility, we have all kinds of stuff now. We have like just playmakers. Which when's the last time we could say that? It's been forever, dude. Like we would drop one player. Say like if Elijah Moore went down, we're like, oh, here we go. We got nobody. You can go 4 or 5 wide receiver. You have 3 tight ends. You got 2 running backs. Like, it's got to be an A, dude. And I'm not a draft guru, but you're looking at who these players are, how they impact the team, the character, how they're going to change the locker room, the impact on the field, and the impact on a quarterback. Bro, I don't know what you think, dude. It's got to be an A. How could you dispute it? Like the Jets had legitimate conviction to the point they actually traded up to get their guys. Like the draft wasn't dictated to them. Like they said, we want him, we're gonna get him. We want him, we're gonna like. That's if they had conviction based on their personnel group, works for me, man.
Yeah, I think the big thing too. Well, first and foremost, I agree with you. I would give it an A as well. But I think the big thing here was like Joe Douglas. It seemed like he really trusted his board and he didn't waver from it. And like you said, like he was actually aggressive. And we've seen Joe Douglas in the past sit back and kind of go the conservative route. We know he doesn't hand out like the mega deals like crazy. We know he doesn't just mortgage the future and everything like that. It was cool to see Joe Douglas finally say, you know what, this is our guy. We're not sure he's going to fall. We're going to move up and go get him. We don't care what it takes. We're going to go up and snag our guys. So I agree with you, man. Like I said, I'm giving the class an A. But Tyson, dude, I appreciate you hopping on. I know you're a busy guy and everything like that, but dude, I appreciate it. And like I said, if you don't know Let's Talk Jets Radio, I highly, highly recommend it. All of his links are, again, down below in the description box. So yeah, dude, thanks.
Thank you, man. This is awesome. We got to do more of these, man. I have fun talking football with you.
Yeah, dude, 100%, man, 100%. I look forward to, obviously there's kind of that dead period in the middle of the summer with June, July, not much stuff breaks, but yeah, it definitely won't be the last time.
Sounds good, man.
Cool. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, go Jets.